was not yet official, although he'd promised to speak to her father any day now. She'd sought work to pay for the few things she would like to have. She now had 4 serviceable day gowns, 1 evening gown, and 2 morning gowns, thank you. Flora and Queenie had decided they must have 8-button gloves made of silk and linen in the event they were invited to a country house weekend this coming summer. Hattie had exactly 2 pairs of gloves, also handed down to her by her mother, with only 3 buttons. There was no room in her meagre budget for new ones, so she followed along, refolding the gloves that Flora and Queenie handed to her without thought when they'd lost interest and moved on to the next pair. Suddenly, a woman entered the shop in such a hurry that she set all the bells above the door clanging. "Mrs. Perkins!" Mrs. Perkins, the shopkeeper, burst forth from the curtains covering the entrance to a back room like she thought the shop might be on fire. "What is it? What's happened?" The woman rushed to the front window where Flora and Queenie were, forcing them aside. "What in heaven?" Queenie cried. "He's there!" "Who's there?" Queenie demanded. She'd never been shy about seeking answers. "Here?" Mrs. Perkins gasped and sprang to the window like a gazelle. "Where?" The woman pointed across the street, and Queenie grabbed Flora's arm. "Look!" "You're hurting me," Flora said. "For once, will you do as I ask?" Queenie demanded. "Look!" Hattie watched the 4 ladies in the shop window, leaning forward and peering out over the glove displays, confused about what was happening. Oh my, Flora said, then gestured wildly for Hattie. Come here, you have to see." There was not enough room for the 5 of them, and Hattie had to stand on her tiptoes to see over Flora's shoulder. "I can't really see," Hattie said. The rest of them ignored her. "Where?" Mrs. Perkins demanded, sounding panicked. Mrs. Perkins' friend pointed. Hattie tried to make herself taller. The only thing she could see was a haberdashery across the street. 3 gentlemen stood before it, chatting. "Is that it?" Hattie asked, and sank down onto her feet again. "Not them," the woman said. "The Viscount!" There had to be at least a dozen Viscounts on Regent Street on any given day. "Which one?" "Which one?" Flora repeated, and shot a disapproving look over her shoulder at Hattie. "Viscount Abbott, of course." "Of course," Hattie muttered. She didn't know of any Viscount Abbott, or why any of these women was interested in him. "Who is also the Duke of Santiava," Queenie said. Hattie blinked. Queenie rolled her eyes. "Why do you never know these things, Hattie? It's as if you live in a cave." She never knew these things because she didn't know anything. How could she? She didn't exactly exist in the same social circles as Flora and Queenie. She knew what they told her. And they had not told her about this Viscount. Just then, Flora grabbed Hattie's hand and gripped it so tightly that Hattie winced. Queenie pushed a display of gloves out of the way, and the 4 women surged forward, Flora dragging Hattie with her. A man emerged from the shop, holding his hat in his hand. He was tall, with sun-drenched skin. His clothing fit him snugly, and it was apparent that he was trim, with an athletic build. His dark hair brushed his collar, and when he looked up at something one of the other gentlemen said, he smiled. Only a little, but it was a smile that sparked through Hattie. That gentleman was quite possibly the most beautiful man she'd ever seen in her life. Elegant, strong, and astonishingly agreeable in looks. No one spoke for a moment. A carriage rolled in between the shops and stopped, blocking their view of the haberdashery. When it rolled